Chapter 7, Muppets in the Movies. Because the Muppet Show was such a success, film companies were eager for Jim to make the Muppet movie. Jim, of course, was eager to do it. He was ready for a new challenge. In the first scene, Kermit plays a banjo and sings Rainbow Connection. He's sitting on a log in a swamp. Creating this scene with the computer animation wasn't possible yet, so Jim found a way to perform the scene for real. The swamp log sat on top of a big metal tank under a pool of water on a film set. Jim was inside the tank with a small TV between his knees to watch Kermit. He stuck both hands up through rubber sleeves to work Kermit's head and banjo strumming arm. A pump kept Jim supplied with air, and rescue divers were nearby in case of trouble. The Muppet movie came out in 1979 and was a big hit. The Great Muppet Caper came out in 1981. It did very well too, though not as well as the Muppet movie. Kermit, Fozzie Bear, and Gonzo are reporters on the case of a stolen diamond, a baseball diamond. In one scene, Kermit, Miss Piggy, and a bunch of Muppets ride bicycles together. Audiences were amazed. How had Jim done this? It looked so real. Remember, this was before computer animation. This is how it was done. The bike-riding Muppets were operated with strings from above. Each bike was attached to another by a rod connecting the wheels. Up ahead, riders on two tricycles pulled the bikes on long strings. Jim's son Brian rode one of the trikes. Two main kinds of Muppets. A hand and rod Muppet. Puppeteer's right hand goes up the Muppet's body to its head, like putting on a glove. Long, thin rods are attached to the Muppet's hands. The puppeteer holds the end of both rods in one hand to make the Muppet do simple things like clap. If the Muppet needs to do more complicated movements, another puppeteer helps. Kermit the Frog is a hand and rod puppet. Live hand Muppet. Two puppeteers are needed to operate this kind of puppet. One slips his right hand into the head and his left hand into the puppet's left hand. The other puppeteer slips her hand inside the Muppet's right hand. Ernie is a live hand puppet. As the Muppets did more complicated things, more staff was needed. Now and then, Jim held puppeteer tryouts. Not everyone was right for the Muppets. The work was fun, but it was hard too. People's arms got tired and sore from holding heavy puppets for a long time. Puppeteers had to work in uncomfortable positions. If a bunch of Muppets ran around together, the performers had to run around together underneath them. Jim thought that with enough practice, the puppet almost becomes part of the puppeteer. But it took a year or longer for a puppeteer to become good enough to work a main Muppet. That's the end of Chapter 7.